Alright guys, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man 1993 coming at you, and yep, if you watched my 1994 video from earlier today, you can see I look a lot more, awake, a lot more clean, a lot more, not look like I just rolled out of bed, because I literally, posted my Royal Rumble 1994 retro review, like right after I rolled out of bed, ate breakfast, and came up here and just recorded it, and I, started my day. But, I'm wearing a lot nicer clothes, I'm shaved. I'm looking good. Enough bragging about myself. Let's get started with this retro review. So we're now on the 1995 Royal Rumble match. We're going to talk about that match again, as always. Review the order of entrance, when people got eliminated and whatnot, and winner, and the big names of it as well. Now, the 1995 Royal Rumble match, from what I have read by critics, a lot of people claim that this is the worst Royal Rumble match of all time. After watching it, I still don't think it is the worst, but it definitely is one of them. I still think the 2015 Royal Rumble match to me is the worst one of all time. But we will talk about that when we get there, which we have like 21 more 20 more Royal Rumbles to get through before we get there. So, spoiler alert, that's the one I say is the lowest of lows, but I will be ranting about that when we get there. 1995, though, as I keep saying, this is during a span of several years where the WWF was suffering big time. The steroid scandal. Well, this is kind of like getting out of the steroid scandal, but it was also going through a time again where a lot of superstars were going off to WCW, and the star power in the WWF wasn't really doing too well. Like there wasn't really any good superstars that were really getting over. A lot of terrible gimmicks that the crowd was not getting behind. So it's like just a bunch of low card guys being thrown into like a big event where there's only like a few people have a chance to win it all. So that was the case. So after watching the '95 Rumble, I kind of came out feeling the same way as I did when I came out watching WrestleMania 11, because a lot of people consider that one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. I don't think it was as bad as people made it out to seem, but what I didn't like about the Royal Rumble 1995, more especially, was the fact of how it was structured, the execution of it. Starting off with the fact that once again, I know, the star power is not there, but also the fact that for some reason this year they only had 60 seconds in between Rumble entrants. I'm not sure. It was very fast paced. Like you didn't really get to enjoy anything at all, and the whole match just looked like two superstars who were awesome, big names, definitely deserved the recognition that they got. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they were rushed into the main event scene like Roman Reigns was, but it's supposed to be a Royal Rumble match building new stars. Instead, it was like two guys and occasional person popping up here and there and just being dumped out, or just fighting outside of the ring. It just didn't feel like an actual Royal Rumble match. It was kind of a little bit of a letdown. But that's why this Royal Rumble match is definitely probably going to be one of my worst grades I give so far. But I'm not going to rant about it like very hard. But it's just the execution, the low star power, not much you could do. But it still wasn't quite good enough to even give this a C grade or anything like that. So let's get right into it. The date was January 22nd, 1995, exactly 1 year from the 1994 Royal Rumble, at the USF Sundome in Tampa, Florida. The stipulation: not only will you be the number one contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship at Wrestlemania, but you would also be escorted by Pamela Anderson, because at this time, again, since the low star power, the WWF had to bring in celebrities just to give people's attention to watch their show, which henceforth also why the main event of WrestleMania 11 was a celebrity match, Bam Bam Bigelow taking on Lawrence Taylor. Which their feud started after Bigelow got eliminated from the Royal Rumble charity, shoved Taylor, who was in the crowd that night, set for their main event match. And despite that being a celebrity match, I thought it was alright. It was one of those matches, like, for what it was good, but I wouldn't go out my way to watch it again. Like, it was like that feeling was. That's how WrestleMania 11 felt to me. This match, Royal Rumble match, though, again, the execution was not really that good. Let's get started now. So we start with number 1 and 2, Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Number 3 was Eli Blue. Number 4 was Duke Droese. Number 5 was Jimmy Del Rey. Then number 6 was Shawn, formerly known as the Barbarian, as you remember him. We had Del Rey being eliminated by the British Bulldog. And then number 7 was Tom Pritchard. And then number 8 was Doink the Clown. Number 9 was Kwong. Again, who are most of these guys? I don't know too many of them. The only one thing to realize is HBK, British Bulldog, um, the Barbarian, and Doink. Number 10 was Rick Martel, and on commentary, it was Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler, who Lawler kept going back and forth on who he was going to pick to win. But Vince McMahon mentioned when Martel came in, this was his 7th Royal Rumble match, which at the time set the record for the most of all time. So I thought I'd leave that note there. Now, number 11 was Owen Hart. And once again, Owen Hart did not get the time in the ring that he probably should have gotten, because he was, at the time, one of the more harder workers in the company. But they weren't giving him the time to shine in the Rumble, as he was still somewhat involved in a feud with him and with his brother Brett, who he wasn't in the match. But earlier in the show, Owen did cost Brett the title. So when Owen made his entrance, Brett came from behind him and he started attacking him at ringside. He would then get in the ring, but then British Bulldog would eliminate him. Number 12 was Timothy Well, who wouldn't last long, as he would be eliminated by British Bulldog. Then Drost would be eliminated by HBK. Then Martel would get eliminated by Sion, and then Pritchard would get eliminated by HBK, and then Dunk get eliminated by Kwong, and then we had Eli Blue and Sion eliminate each other. Pretty much they eliminate each other at the same time, like how Bret Hart and Lex Luger did the year before, at 94. So because of that, it was pretty much right back to where it all started from, just HBK and British Bulldog. So then there were just 2. Number 13 was Bushwhacker Luke. He would then get immediately eliminated by HBK. Number 14 was Jacob Blue. He got eliminated by HBK also. So everybody's just getting dumped out because no one's getting any time besides HBK and British Bulldog at this point. Number 15, though, was King Kong Bundy, who wasn't even an easy force to take out with at first. Then number 16 was Mo, who didn't get eliminated by Bundy. Number 17 was King Mabel, and he would go in there and eliminate King Kong Bundy. Number 18 was then Bushwhacker Butch, which was just like Luke. He would get eliminated. I think Luke got eliminated in 12 seconds, and Butch got eliminated in 19, or vice versa. We'll find out when we go over the results afterwards. That happened there. Number 19 was Lex Luger. I forgot what comment Vince McMahon made, but it does sound like he was just like still regretting that finish from the year before when both Hart and Luger co-won the Royal Rumble in '94. But he would come in, and here's the thing: I'm always for I'm more and more becoming big on how the wrestlers really sell what they're being hit with, pretty much. I was not too keen with how Lex Luger just walked in and easily dumped Mabel, despite not really being much of a Mabel fan at all. He's just a big man who wasn't really like established well at all. Like when I talk about very well established big man today, you talk about like Braun Strowman, like the Authors of Pain, guys who are established well, who feel like legitimate superstars, not just some big body out there just for the heck of it and just boring, like how Mabel was. But Lex Luger came in and didn't even struggle to get Mabel out. He just able to stand by the ropes. He came in there and just boom, flipped him over. And I was just like, why would you have someone flip him over like that? But then there's Shawn Michaels, who you have to fight tooth and nail to try to eliminate. Which nothing wrong with having Shawn Michaels being tough to eliminate, but still it just doesn't make any sense. That can happen, but then like one year you'll have like 5 people needing to eliminate that one person. And then the next year you'll have this one person like Lex Luger, who I'm sure had some muscle, but still it's like not to be able to eliminate just him by himself. Like the Great Khali had to be eliminated by a bunch of members every time he went in there. Well, except for whenever was it Beth Phoenix tricked him and kissed him and pulled him out of the ring or whatever heck it was. I don't even know. We're probably going to have to talk about that when we get there, years down the line. But it just didn't make any sense to me how Luger just eliminated Mabel like that so easily, but he couldn't eliminate other people that easily as well. Number 20 was Mantar, or how you pronounce that. I thought it said Montour, but I heard it's never a bad gimmick. Number 21 was Aldo Montoya. Don't know who that is. Then number 22 is Henry O. Goodwin, followed by 23 and 24 were Billy and Bart Gunn, the Smoking Guns. Number 25 was Mr. Bob Backlund, who apparently was now a heel, playing in the role of when he just snaps at everything. And as he's making his way out to the ring, Bret Hart comes out again. This time he starts attacking Bob Backlund, which when Backlund did finally get into the ring after number 26, Stephen Dunn got into the ring, Backlund finally get into the ring, stare down Hart, and Luger would just, who loves his clotheslines Backlund out of the ring, and him and Hart start brawling again, going into backstage. It would set up an I Quit match they had at WrestleMania 11. It wasn't really that good of a match, I remember, from what I saw it. This happened there. Number 27 was Dick Murdoch. Number 28 was Adam Bomb. Number 29 was Fatu, once again, before he was Rikishi. I did it for the Rock. A little too early. But that was Fatu. And then Lex Luger would then eliminate Mantar. And number 30 was Crush. So we still had a good amount of people still left, but for a while it was just British Bulldog and HBK, who were still in this match at this point, eliminate everybody. Mainly HBK, but British Bulldog didn't do quite as much as HBK did. But yeah. So after Crush comes in, we have him then eliminate both members of the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart. Then we have Aldo eliminating Stephen Dunn. We would have Crush eliminate Adam Bomb, and then Shawn Michaels will eliminate Monatea. I probably mispronounced his name or butchered it big time. Sorry. Crush eliminated Fatu. Goodwin eliminated Murdoch, and then Lex Luger would eliminate Godwin as well, or Goodwin, whatever the heck you pronounce this. So the final four was Lex Luger, HBK, British Bulldog, and Crush. So at least you have a good final four, at least for the most part, in there as well. And then Crush and Michaels would team up and eliminate Lex Luger, and then HBK talks Crush into, oh, hey, let's team up together and we can take out British Bulldog. It'll be the two of us finishing up together or whatnot. They started to, but then Crush did turn on HBK. He goes to eliminate HBK, but got out of the way as British Bulldog would then eliminate Crush. So the final two are the two people we started with, HBK and British Bulldog. So they go at it. Again, there were so many times in this match, and even in 96 as well, where Shawn Michaels was nearly eliminated. He was so close to getting eliminated so many times, it wasn't even funny. But he was able to hang in there. I give Shawn Michaels all the credit for his performance in this Royal Rumble match, but it's just the star power and the execution with only the 60 seconds, and then not many people just hanging around the match. Just no new stars were really built in this match at all. But I still give him credit for the performance. He did an awesome job. And British Bulldog did pretty good too. But then the ending was interesting as the British Bulldog tossed HBK over the ropes, and it looked like HBK got eliminated, and British Bulldog's music starts playing. But then HBK gets back into the ring, and as British Bulldog was staying up on the post celebrating, HBK pushed him off the post and he fell off, and HBK was a clear winner. But they showed the replay that only one of Shawn Michaels' feet touched the floor. So henceforth, HBK was not eliminated. So HBK won, and he would go on to WrestleMania 11. He was supposed to be escorted by Pamela Anderson, but instead she escorted the current World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion Diesel, later known as Kevin Nash, to the ring instead. As there was a feud going on between Kevin Nash and HBK at this time. They were two former best friends. They turned on each other. Then they faced each other at WrestleMania. Diesel would win, but they would reunite though later in the year and win the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles. But yeah, so Shawn Michaels wins from starting at number 1. Again, it was a historic moment for him. But the Rumble itself, nah. And of course, also British Bulldog placed second while starting at number 2. So where we started, we ended pretty much with this Royal Rumble match. The winner was Shawn Michaels. So before I get to the longest times and whatnot, let's go over all the entrants and their times and eliminations. So of course 1 and 2 were Shawn Michaels and British Bulldog. They were both in there for 38 minutes and 41 seconds. 8 eliminations for HBK, 4 for British Bulldog. Eli Blue was in there for 10 minutes, 1 elimination. Duke Droz No eliminations in 8 minutes 13 seconds. Jimmy Del Rey, a minute 25, no eliminations. Sion was in there for 6:50, 3 eliminations. Tom Pritchard was in there for 5 minutes and 30 seconds, no eliminations. Doit the Clown was in there for 4:50, no eliminations. Kwong, 4:01, 1 elimination. Rick Martel, again, in his at the time record-setting 7th Royal Rumble match. 2:29, no eliminations. Owen Hart, again, need to get more time in these rumbles. Was only in there for 3 seconds, no eliminations. Timothy Wall, 23 seconds, no eliminations. Bushwhacker Luke, 12 seconds, no eliminations. Jacob Blue, 17 seconds, no eliminations. King Kong Bundy, 3 minutes, no 1 elimination. We had Mo in there for 3 seconds, no eliminations. Mabel was in there for a minute 58, 1 elimination. Bushwhacker Butch, 19 seconds, no eliminations. Lex Luger was in there for 18 minutes and 51 seconds, 4 eliminations. Mantar, 9:33, no eliminations. Aldo Montoya was in there for 13 minutes and 21 seconds, 1 elimination. Henry O. Godwin was there for 14 minutes and 40 seconds, 1 elimination. Bart Gunn, 720. Billy Gunn, sorry, 725, no eliminations. Bart Gunn also had no eliminations, but in there for 619. Bob Backlund in there for 16 seconds, no eliminations. Stephen Dunn, 429, no eliminations. Dick Murdoch was in there for 5 minutes and 8 seconds, 2 eliminations. Adam Bomb was in there for 520, no eliminations. Fatu was in there for 5 minutes and 32 seconds, no eliminations. I did that for the doc. And then number 30 was Crush. He was in there for 8 minutes and 51 seconds. So we got 5 eliminations. So not a bad Rumble appearance by Crush as well, despite not winning it. But yeah, so the longest time, of course, was HBK and British Bulldog, who ran it the whole entire time. As this Rumble, again, because of only 60 seconds in between entrants, it only lasted 38 minutes and 41 seconds. But HBK had the most eliminations with 8. Overall, despite the historical moments, again, the star power really lacked in this match, and the execution was not good as well with the 60-second intervals. So unfortunately, we'll give this Royal Rumble a D. I would have given it probably a little bit higher if it would have at least given more time in between. That could have helped as well, but it just felt rushed. It felt like the whole match was just Shawn Michaels versus British Bulldog with other people just hanging around here and there. I would have rather liked better, so I'm going to give this Royal Rumble a D. What are your thoughts on the 1995 Royal Rumble? Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and be sure to always click that like and subscribe for more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter, DemandAir93. I should be having the 96 Rumble review posted, maybe 97 also, but I'm hoping to at least, maybe with the pace I'm going today, hopefully maybe I'll at least watch the wrestle to the 98 Royal Rumble match. At least get 96 and maybe 97 posted. 98 would come tomorrow. But yep, we're rolling, guys. Again, let's hopefully get all these Royal Rumble matches done before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on January 28th. As everybody, I am out. I'm sure I'll see you guys later. Until then, have a good day.